You see, I normalized not telling anyone anything. Literally nothing. Like, there was a point in my life, and you might relate to this, where I felt like I needed the validation of other people. I needed people to approve of the next move that I wanted to make, whether it was a move in terms of location, a business move, a new relationship that I wanted to have with a woman even, right? You want to hit up your friends and see if they approve or not. Your parents, you want to hit up your parents to see if they approve of the move that you want to do. And it creates a lot of noise, right? It creates a lot of noise in your head where you're getting so many people's opinions. And by the way, people's opinions are based on their own personal biases, their own life experiences that may have not went well, that they're projecting onto you. And that's going to derail you because everyone's life is different. Everyone's life is different. Your life is different. My life is different. Everyone's life is different, right? The actual decisions that you make should be based on you. They should be based on your intuition. You see, when you start to tell everyone everything, you numb down your intuition. Your intuition ends up not working as well anymore because you can't look inside. All of the answers that you want in life, by the way, is internal. You have to learn how to master your self-image and master who you are and understand what you want and what you don't want. Not based on societal programming, not based on approval or validation from society, but based on yourself. See, the Creator, the Most High, gave you this intuition to be able to navigate this life, this simulation that you live in. But you've numbed it down by asking everyone everything, even going on the internet and trying to figure out what the next guru told you is the best business model to do, or the next relationship coach or guru that tells you this is the woman that you need to be with. Don't be with this woman. Don't be with be with this woman. You're getting hit left and right with opinions based on personal biases. And what happens is you lose that intuition. You lose that internal compass and you get lost. And now you're living someone else's script for your life and not your own. You see, I broke out of that. I broke out of that completely. I stopped telling anyone anything. People would just see moves being made and they'd be like, what the fuck? And you know what happens? People who are close to you, who are expecting you to ask them for approval and permission, they get upset or they start to question. They're like, why didn't you tell me that? Wow, bro, you did this, but you didn't. I thought you would have told me that. Or they start to disapprove of what you're doing and they start to distance themselves from you because they expected some level of approval from them to you, which is extremely arrogant of people, right? Like, it's arrogant that people would think that you need to go to them for approval for decisions that you make in your life. When in reality, God gave you, the Most High gave you the compass to be able to decide whether or not this thing is going to be good or not for you. But you didn't think about that. All right. So now everything just you feel confused. You're at a job you don't fucking like because people told you that that was the right thing to do based on their worldviews that are already fucked up and warped internally. You maybe were with this woman because your mom told you that that was a really good woman to be with and she approved, and you're looking for your mom's approval or your dad's approval. You're looking for your friends to approve of the woman that you're with because if you're with that woman, they're not going to want to hang out with you anymore. Who gives a fuck, bro? Who cares if people don't want to be around you because of a decision you made internally? Now, I will say this, to make correct decisions internally, you need to master your self-image and your identity. Because if you can master your self-image and your identity, you can understand all of the shadows that you need to figure out, the negative parts of you, and you can also understand the positive parts. You can create boundaries for yourself. You can understand what you truly believe in and what you don't believe in, right? You can start to monitor your thoughts to be able to only accept positive thoughts, which then give you positive beliefs, which then give you positive emotions, which then create positive actions. And you can choose which one of those will give you positive, right? And positive and negative is relative to where you want to go in life. So you got to understand where you want to go, who you are, and how you want to get there, which is an entire identity journey, right? And not telling anyone anything allows you to avoid identity crisis. Because identity crisis only exists when you have a shaky foundation of your identity and you're trying to be able to siphon the framework of your identity from everybody else around you. Because now when everybody else is around you and they're giving you a projection of an identity that they want for you, because it benefits them, to be honest, because everyone's selfish. Let's be honest. We're all selfish. I'm selfish. You're selfish. We're all selfish. We want things to be comfortable for us. We want to be able to understand things because that gives us peace of mind. We want to be able to control people so that we can get specific outcomes that work for us. That's just by default. It's not until you can master yourself. See, now I'm very detached to people. I don't give you advice based on how I want you to live. I give you advice based on what worked for me, and you can choose to either accept or reject it, which is why I don't understand haters, because I'm not telling you that there's only one way to live life. You see, I'm married, but I'm not going to project that you need to go get married, because that's what my internal compass told me to do. That's what fits my identity that I've accepted within myself. That gives me a fulfilling life. Now, you might be a different person. Maybe you need 4 wives. Maybe that's what your identity, your true identity is, a man with 4 wives. Maybe you need to work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life and climb the corporate ladder because that's what your identity wants you to do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's bullshit that you work a 9-to-5 job. Work the 9-to-5 job. Right? I'm here to be able to help people if they don't like the identity that they have and they want to make that change. I can guide you from point A to point B based on what you want. That's the difference. Whatever business you want to do, whether it's e-com, whether it's trading, whether it is building a tech startup, a tech company, whether it is coaching, whatever that business model is. Right? Because I did the same thing. I would always announce businesses that I wanted to run to people that I thought were ahead of me to be able to get their approval so that I could feel comfortable building that business. And what happened? I felt completely removed from that business. I felt completely just like it wasn't a part of my identity map whatsoever. It didn't give me the fulfillment that I wanted, but it gave the other person the fulfillment because they told me what to do and I listened, which made them reinforce their identity, right? Which made them feel good. And also, it validated that their advice makes sense for what they did, which made them feel even better because they're like, well, yeah, my business model is the best, right? And for me, I put myself at such a small place and I thought, well, let me be humble, right? There's a place to be humble. And I've talked about this in many videos. But objectively, you do not need to be humble based on if you have a good intuition and a good place. You have a good, just firm grasp on who you are. You don't need to be humble to other people. Right? You can be strategically humble, which is what the elites do, right? And when I say elites, the people who have made it in life, who are the top 1% in money, in health, in relationships, they're humble, right? They're humble strategically because they understand that if they can lower someone's ego, because when you're not humble, and I'm not telling you to brag, but when you're confident in yourself and you understand who you are, and you can project that will increase people's ego because people need to increase that ego, right? To be able to shield your confidence because the confidence is too loud. It makes them rethink their decisions. So you want to get to a point where you can be strategically humble, where you can lower people's ego if necessary, and also get to a point where you're internally confident. And you're pretty cocky because if you ask anybody who's successful, they believe that they're better than everybody else. Because if you didn't believe that you were better than the average person, you would be an average person because you're all about your beliefs. Your beliefs shape who you are, right? But that is besides the point. The point is, you don't need to ask anybody anything, bro. You don't need to tell somebody that you're gonna go do this and you're gonna go do that. And it might make you feel good because now you get to a point where you feel like you've already done it. That was my problem as well. Announcing every little thing that I would do before I did it, and then feeling like I already did it, and then not doing it. Right? Have you felt like that? Because I have. And it just ruins your progress. It ruins where you want to go because you constantly have to announce shit to people and get the validation from people. And that validation makes it feel like you made progress when really you haven't done shit. Absolutely nothing. So fuck that. You don't need to tell anybody anything. Just go out and do it. You don't need anybody's permission. You don't need validation. For the people who are spiritual or religious or whatever it is, I want to tell you, God already gave you permission, bro. God already gave you permission to do everything you want in this life, good and bad. That's the craziest part about this shit. I'm not a religious person whatsoever, but I am spiritual to the point where I understand, and I'm starting to get a closer relationship with God. And I understand that God gave free will, permission. What is free will? Permission to be a human, permission to fuck up, permission to win, permission to do anything. You don't need to ask God for permission. You simply need to do it, and God will then veer you in the right direction based on what you want. You see, that's what matters. And sometimes what you want may not be what God wants, but then you have to think and you have to question, if you have free will and there's no predetermination, essentially, it's all about what you want out of this life. Do you want a miserable life or do you want a successful life? And God can help you get either one, right? Either one, based on what you need. God, or if you want to say the devil or whatever, that's a long conversation that I plan on not having because I don't want to shake people. I don't want to get people just shaky, you know? It's a very shaky, religion's a very shaky conversation. Spirituality is a very shaky conversation. I believe everybody comes to their own awakening at their own time. But all in all, fuck it, bro. Do it. Go move to that country that you want to move to. I moved to Romania. I didn't ask a single person permission. Nothing. I did it. And now everybody else wants to do it. Maybe not to come to Romania like I did, because that was a special situation. My wife got deported, and that's why I'm here, if you didn't know. And, you know, you guys know me. I can turn just a bad situation into like the best fucking situation. I'm on the news in Romania, getting well known here, right? TikTok blowing up. Just made something out of nothing, right? Gave my wife a beautiful life here. She didn't even want to come back here. She wanted to stay in the US. But now she likes here. It's low-key better than the US, even though she wants to go back. But she can't go back for another 10 years, which is crazy, you know? So I'm here. And also in Dubai, going back and forth here in Dubai, here in Dubai, here in Dubai. We live a great life, you know? But that came from not asking for permission, because the minute I moved here, I realized I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people who I thought were close with me, that wanted the best that I wanted, but they got mad that I moved. Some of them even blocked me, right? Some of them genuinely blocked me. I had friends who were, you know, the Pan-Africanists, the people who believe that if you're black, you only need to be with a black woman, and how could you be with a woman who is European, right? Like, why would you not be with a black woman? I even have people who subscribe to me who have the nerve to try to tell me how I should be living my life. Oh, you should be with a black woman, not knowing that I've been with every race. I've literally been with every race. And a good amount of them have been black women, African women, right? Women from the motherland. But it just didn't work out, you know? And this is the best relationship that I've ever been in. Why? Because I stopped asking for permission. I don't give a fuck about these Pan-Africanists, bro. I don't give a fuck. Trying to tell me how to live my life? I don't give a fuck about these business gurus telling me what the best business model is. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna live my life. And that's the cool thing. When you live your life and maybe something happens, you fuck up, it's on you. You don't have anybody else to blame, which is why people always look for external validation, because they want somebody else to blame. They want somebody else that they can say, he told me to do that and it was wrong. It was his fault. I should have listened to myself. You should have listened to your fucking self in the first place, but you didn't. So you got cooked in real time. Fuck that. Here's the thing. No matter what your decisions are in life, people have nothing negative to say about you. They may try, but genuinely internally, they'll have nothing negative to say until when they see that you're effective. That's the key to this whole masculinity shit. You want to know masculinity in a nutshell? It's being the most efficient and effective man in human history. That's what you need to strive towards. How can I be as effective as possible? How can I turn negative into positive? Be a fucking alchemist. How can I make the best decisions for myself that other people wouldn't even fucking understand? And how do I stand by that? How do I not change for other people? How do I stick to who I truly am? I'll give you a radical one, right? Maybe you're a guy and you're obsessed with video games, bro. You're obsessed with that shit. If I was, I'm not, right? I don't give a fuck about video games. I used to play it. Now I don't really care about it. But if I was a guy who genuinely took extreme pride in video games, I'd be the best streamer ever. I would make so much fucking money streaming video games that people would have no other way but to say, well, that makes sense. And I wouldn't give a fuck even if they said it was wrong, because I'm effective. Effective. All right? If I was a guy who, let's say I wanted 4 wives, I would go get 4 wives and make it work and have the best life possible, to where someone who's all up in monogamy would be like, oh shit, he's making it work. He's living a successful life. See, I'm a monogamist, right? I have one relationship, I have one marriage, I'm good. And I'm effective in it. I get everything that I need. Everything. Sexual needs fully met, like more than I could even fucking think about. Financial needs met. Woman's amazing. Stomach full every day, whenever I need food. Listens, understands. Monogamy, for me, I make it effective. Every decision you make, and I don't say this to brag, I say this because every decision that you fucking make in this life, make sure that you're effective. Every risk that you take, make sure that you're effective in that risk. And nobody will have shit to tell you. And if they do tell you some shit, you can tell them to fuck off, because they're not effective. Because anybody who's effective does not have the time to look at somebody else's decision and judge why they made that decision. That's one big thing that you have to understand. Anybody who is fucking effective, who can get shit done in life, cannot have the time to go and analyze somebody else's decisions, because they're winning so fucking much. I'm winning. Why the fuck should I care about what anybody else does in their life? What any of my friends who are dating around and fucking off, go have fun. I'm busy with my own successes here. I'm here growing my successes. I don't have time to go and criticize why somebody else does what they do. And that's the mindset that you have to have. All right, so I hope this video is valuable for you. Again, links will be in the description if you want to be effective in any of these realms that I've presented to you, whether it be your communication and your charisma, whether it be your identity, doing an identity shift so fast that literally people think that you're out of this world with the results that you get in life. Because every result in life, by the way, the first principle is, are you the man that deserves those results? Every result you want requires you to become a different man. And that different man is based on an identity. And you have to assume that identity to get there. So my identity shifting is great. YouTube, of course, right? If you want to, yap on YouTube and you have experiences in life that people can learn from, because here's the thing, fellas. The only reason why I can be successful on YouTube is because I've actually lived a life worth living, and I have lessons worth listening to. I'm not some fucking 19-year-old kid that's in his mom's basement trying to give men advice. No, I'm just sharing my lessons. So if you have lessons that you've learned and you have a framework to get something that other men you believe, which there will be a lot of men who want to have what you have, then you need to go get the personal branding course and actually do this shit for yourself and have a framework to be able to position yourself in a way that you get a maximum amount of views and a maximum amount of conversions when you actually do have a business related to that, preferably a coaching business. That's what works with content creation the most. Right? And then you can evolve into e-com, you can evolve into all physical products and building software and shit like that. But to start, you want cash flow and you want to be yourself and you want to make money being yourself, you got to build a personal brand, and that's what that shit helps you do. Right? Dating course, of course, if you just want to understand women better and you just have not been good at just analyzing them and figuring out how they think, because women, man, there are guys who have solved big problems in life, like some of the most like crazy problems, but with women, they're lost as fuck because they can be an enigma if you don't have enough experience with them, all right? Well, this is gonna help you. And obviously my free Telegram is below as well. Join that if you're interested in potentially joining my group mentorship, where I will be helping guys have full transformations, like across the board. I'm planning that right now, planning a really big launch. I haven't announced it yet. You know, in the past, I would do quick launches and I would get guys in, which would be good, but I wouldn't have the operations and I wouldn't have the systems put in place to be able to stay with that specific offer for a long time. Now, the systems are getting built. I have a team, and it's gonna be time to make mass transformations for people, right? And this is for men who they've achieved something, but they want a lot more, and they want a full embodied transformation of their masculine self, right? That's a big one. To be able to have more money, to be able to do better with women, or a woman that they have, or most of whatever the fuck your situation is. Do better with their body, do better with their mind, and just be multi-dimensionally fucking jacked. Oh yeah, we're back. We're back. Multi-dimensionally jacked. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.